हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। चलिए इस वीडियो में हम डीएवी क्लास एसएसटी में सिविक्स में चैप्टर 18 द यूनियन गवर्नमेंट द लेजिस्लेचर करते हैं। सबसे पहले तो यहाँ आपके चैप्टर में पहले पैराग्राफ में ही लिखा है इंडिया ऑप्टेड फॉर अ फेडरल फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट। बच्चे इसमें बहुत कंफ्यूज होते हैं कि फेडरल फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट है क्या। तो आपने फेडरल फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट को ही अच्छे से समझना है। फेडरल फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ऐसी गवर्नमेंट है जिसमें पावर का डिवीजन है, पावर डिवाइडेड है। इंडिया में फेडरल फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट है जिसमें कि जो गवर्नमेंट्स के डिफरेंट डिफरेंट लेवल्स बनाए गए हैं। सबसे पहले नेशनल लेवल, फिर स्टेट लेवल और उसके बाद ग्रास रूट लेवल। हमारी कंट्री में 3 लेवल हैं गवर्नमेंट के, और इसी डिवीजन ऑफ पावर को हम फेडरल फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट कहते हैं। नेशनल लेवल पर हमारी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट होती है। At national level, we have central government where the head of the state is the president and head of the government is the prime minister, who heads the council of minister. State level, at state level we have state governments. Head of the state government, head of the government is chief minister at state level, and head of the state is the governor. In the same way, third level is the grassroots level. At the grassroots level, we have local self-governing bodies like Nagar Parishad, Gram Panchayat, where the head are Sarpanch, MC, like these. Now, in India, in this lesson, we will learn about the union government. There are various parts of union government. They are legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. There are 3 parts. In this chapter, we will learn about the legislature. The legislature constitutes the parliament. Parliament has 3 parts: the Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha, and the president. The president is not the member of any of the houses, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. These all 3 are separate, but president is an integral part of the parliament. No bill can become a law without the consent of president. Second part is the executive. About executive we will learn in the next chapter, and about judiciary we will learn in chapter 20. The executive includes the president, council of ministers headed by the prime minister. The judiciary includes the Supreme Court of India, high courts, and the judges and their judges. Now, for the proper functioning of our government without any overlapping or functioning of power, without any overlapping or conflict over the powers, we have divided the various subjects on which laws can be made into 3 lists. These 3 lists are the union list, the state list, and the concurrent list. In union list there are 97 subjects, and like the defense, foreign affairs, war and peace, railways, post office, currency, foreign exchange, etc. These all are the subjects included in the union list. Only the parliament have the supreme power to make laws on, to legislate on the subjects mentioned in union list. In state list there are 66 subjects like police, local government. You have to learn all these, like police, local government, public health and sanitation, agriculture, forest, etc. These all are included in the state list, and the state legislature have the power to legislate on them, but under special circumstances parliament can also make laws on them. Concurrent list. In concurrent list we have 52 subjects like marriage and divorce, transfer of property other than agricultural land, adulteration of foodstuffs, drugs and medicines, labor, welfare, etc. These all are the subjects included in the concurrent list, and on concurrent list both the parliament and the state legislature can make laws. Now there are some subjects which are not included in any of the 3 lists, that is the union list, the state list, and the concurrent list. These subjects are known as the residuary subjects. The subjects, what are residuary subjects? You will say the subjects not included in any of the three lists, that is the union list, the state list and the concurrent list, are called residuary subject. For example, computer software and hardware, information technology, etc. Now we have adopted a very unique feature, that is universal adult franchisee in India. There is universal adult franchisee, which means all the citizens who are 18 years of age or above have the right to vote. They can vote their members of Lok Sabha and Prime Minister, etc. And what are the advantages of this right? This right gives the people an opportunity to actively participate in the political process of the country. People express their trust in the functioning of our democratic setup. They elect their representatives who constitute the parliament that controls and guides the union government. Now, let us, after learning all these things, now let us study about the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, which are the two houses of our parliament. राज्य सभा और ये लोक सभा। राज्यसभा को हम और भी कई नामों से पुकारते हैं, जैसे कि अपर हाउस। राज्यसभा इज नोन एज द अपर हाउस ऑफ पार्लियामेंट एंड लोकसभा इज नोन एज द लोअर हाउस ऑफ पार्लियामेंट। राज्यसभा को हम अपर हाउस क्यों कहते हैं? बिकॉज it can never be dissolved, but Lok Sabha can be dissolved, so it is known as the lower house. Rajya Sabha is also known as the Council of States because it represents the states of India, and Lok Sabha is known as the House of People as it represents the people of India. Now let us do the comparative study of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Members in Rajya Sabha, members are indirectly elected by they are not directly elected by the people. Firstly, people elect the members of Lok Sabha, and the MLAs that are elected by the people elect the members of Rajya Sabha. Therefore, the members of Rajya Sabha are indirectly elected, but members of Lok Sabha are directly elected by the people. Therefore, the constitution makers have given more powers to the Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha represents the states of India and the Lok Sabha represents the people of India. Maximum strength of Rajya Sabha can be 250, from which 238 are elected from the states and the union territories, and 12 are nominated by the president who excel in various fields like art, literature, science, architecture and social science, etc. social service, etc. And but in Lok Sabha maximum strength is 550. Till 2019 the maximum strength was 552, as the president had the power to elect if the Anglo-Indian community is not represented adequately, the president could elect 2 people from Anglo-Indian community. But as per the 2011 consensus, it was noticed that the strength of Anglo-Indian was only 269 in India. Therefore, the rule according to though the 104th Amendment Act, it has been abolished, that no 2 Anglo-Indians are elected now. It is abolished in 2019. Therefore, now the maximum strength of Lok Sabha is 550, from which 530 are elected from states and 20 are elected from the union territories. But at present, the strength of Rajya Sabha is 543 and the strength of Lok Sabha is 245 at present. Qualifications of to become a member of Rajya Sabha: he must be a citizen of India. He must have completed 30 years of age. His name must be in the voters list. For Lok Sabha, two qualifications are same. Third is he must have completed 25 years of age. He must not be a government servant. Now let's see the tenure. The tenure of Lok Sabha, the tenure of Rajya Sabha is 6 years, but 1/3 of its members retire after every 2 years and elections are held to fill these seats. In Lok Sabha, The tenure is 5 years, but it can also be dissolved earlier by the president of the recommendation of the prime minister. And its term can also be extended only for 1 year at a time if such a bill is passed by the parliament for the orderly and smooth functioning of the parliament. It is a permanent house. Rajya Sabha is a permanent house, but Lok Sabha is not. Is temporary. That is, it can be dissolved earlier also, but it cannot be dissolved. The Vice President of India becomes the chairman of Rajya Sabha, and in Lok Sabha, the speaker is elected from the majority party, and the deputy speaker is elected from the opposition party. Now let us do some extra questions of general knowledge. First chairman of Rajya Sabha was Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. Present chairman is Mr. Venkaiah Naidu. First vice chairman was S. V. Krishnamurti Rao. Present vice chairman is Harivansh Narayan Singh. And in Lok Sabha, first speaker was Mr. G. V. Mavlankar. First woman speaker Mrs. Meera Kumar. Present speaker Om Birla. First deputy speaker मादा भूषी अनंथा संयम अय्यनगर, M.A. अय्यनगर आप इसे कह सकते हैं. प्रेजेंट डिप्टी स्पीकर इज M. थाम्बीदुराई करूर. ये हमारे कुछ जनरल नॉलेज के क्वेश्चन है. Now let us study about the powers and functions of the parliament. The powers and functions of parliament are: it makes laws on the subjects mentioned in union list, concurrent list, and on residuary subjects. It can also make laws in the subjects mentioned in state list under some special circumstances. The members of parliament exercise their right to vote during the election of vice president and president of India. The process by which the president, the president, the judges of Supreme Court and the judges of High Court, the Chief Justice of India can be removed is called impeachment. This process is also taken up in the parliament when a bill is passed by the absolutely two-third majority of people present and voting in both the houses of parliament. It also have executive powers. It asks the questions from the Council of Ministers. It controls the executive by asking questions, and the period when questions are asked is known as question hour. No bill can become a law without the approval of president. Therefore, president is also an integral part of the parliament. So in this video, we have learnt about the chapter 18, the legislature, and about the parliament. In next video, we'll be learning about the executive and the judiciary also.